Hello everybody and welcome to Curse of Mother Misery. This will be our episode 20. As always, we are playing Curse of Strahd, but it's been modified, transformed and changed by me, and we're also playing in the Frostmark setting with the Frostmark system. We have content warning of bad language, gothic horror and some gore. And with me, I have a wonderful cast of players. I have Lady Lear, the half-elf and Magus, played by Julie. Good evening.
I don't know what any of you guys are on about. Polite.
I have Calvin, the Gnome Ranger, played by Weewoo. Welcome.
God, she's so stupid.
I got Nix of the Study, the Tiefling Bard, played by Adrian. How you doing?
I'm doing well. I wonder what the ravens will say today.
And certainly not least, I got Sir Asvada, the Silver Dragonborn Paladin, played by Aeronox. Hello!
Hello!
There you go. Alright, what happened last time? We got into Vallaki after a very long list of things not to do. Besides the normal rules that usually applies to settlements, the party is not allowed to bear arms or armor. They are taken care of, like confiscated away and kept safely for a fee. You're not allowed to mention Strahd's name or any of his titles or synonyms other than the devil. And even so, it's heavily frowned upon. And everyone in Vallaki it's mandatory to participate in the weekly festivals that are always the greatest celebrations of the year. In 3 days' time, we are going to have the Blazing Sun Festival. If the party is still in Vallaki, that they need to attend. Jesus, that's a lot of Shannon points being thrown around. We met Erwin Martikov, one of the owners of the Blue Water Inn, who excitedly welcomed the party to his establishment. They eventually went there and left their horses, left their wagons. Holtz went on to do some of his own business. You saw him briefly offloading ore with the blacksmith that lives just nearby the Blue Water Inn. And you guys went to explore Vallaki. You found several points of interest. You found a general store, a stockyard, a carnival wagon, a tailor, a bookbinder, a toy store, a Blinsky. It's no fun, it's no Blinsky. A coffin maker. You found the burgomaster's home, the large imposing building behind the burgomaster's home, as well as a mansion of what seems to be an influential family called the Wachter family. You also went searching for ravens, and in the end you concluded that most of the ravens seems to be around the central area of Vallaki, and Kelvin talked to one of these ravens. After a lot of headaches and a lot of talks about shinies, he eventually learned that indeed the sisters to the ravens, the blue ravens as the ravens would like to call them, have one of their nests at the Blue Water Inn. Alright, and that is where we're going to start, where our heroes are standing outside of Blue Water Inn. Alright, let me just fix the ambience here, and then we can start. There we go. Alright, what do you guys like to do?
Head inside.
Alright, I shall remove the dynamic lightning door. I will just remove this one.
As we stand at the door, the entryway to the tavern, I'm gonna look down to Kelvin and say, It's been a while since we have set foot in a tavern that wasn't on fire. Um,
Ironic.
let's try not to burn this one down, eh?
I'll try my best.
What happened in the past?
You don't want to know.
That's what will, kind of squat down a bit. So she doesn't hit her frigging top half against the door.
Aw.
Oh,
Yeah, it's not the worst door you have ever passed through, but it's certainly not for you either way. Yeah, let me explain what you guys experience as you come in here. Um, Damp cloaks hang from pegs in this entrance portico. The tavern is packed with tables and chairs, with narrow paths meandering between them. A bar stretches along one wall, under a balcony that can be reached by a wooden staircase that hangs the north wall. Another balcony overhangs an entrance to the east. All the windows are fitted with thick shutters and crossbars. Lanterns hangs above the bar, and resting on the tables, they bathe the room in a dull orange light and cast shadows up upon the walls, most of which are adorned with wolf heads mounted on wooden plaques. There are a few patrons inside of here. It's about like lunchtime for you guys right now. Late lunchtime, I would say maybe 1 o'clock, 1:30. Um, there's a woman behind the bar. Her later 40s, 50s, with gray strands in her hair that is tied back in a neat bun. She looks up to you with a gaze like she's measuring who you are and what you want, but she doesn't immediately enter a conversation with you. You have two what seems to be teenagers deep in their cups in this table here. One has a knife scraping into the table. You got what seems to be two more rough looking guys with pelts and furs and leather. And indeed, among their equipment, there is bows and arrows. You got a sullen looking dude over here. There's a bright colored hat that sits on the table in front of him. He has a harp in his lap, but right now he seems to be eating some kind of porridge for lunch. And then you also have what seems to be Barovian commoners. Some, as you watch them for quite a while, seems to be halvers.
Seems to be what?
Halvers. They have half souls. They do not emote.
Oh, havers. Okay.
Yes.
I said halberds for a second.
Yeah. it's like,
Halberds.
I
Halberds.
heard
Yeah.
helpers and was like, who are they helping?
havers.
They got some little elves, you know.
Strats and helpers.
Oh, no.
No.
I
I'm
can
pretty. I'm pretty sure I saw like a one shot or something called Strahd Stole Christmas at some point.
Oh no.
I hear you got more of a 3D representation of the room. Animated.
Oh, it's so cool.
As much as I would generally be the one to step up to the countertop and talk to the lovely tavern mates, takes a look over to like the 40, 50 years old lady and like kind of does a quick micro expression of cringe and goes, I think maybe someone else should take it this time.
Micro expression of cringe. You do have the eyes of the tavern on you. They're mostly whispers coming from this side of the room. The two teenagers, though, you can hear them loudly gossiping about how you guys look. They're not really hiding it, and what comes out is basically a comment about how a tiefling that is not the asshole Isaac is inside of the walls, and there's like a small man child and
A
a
man.
huge dragon creature, and they're opening staring and like making comments.
Uh, Asphoda kind of gives like a warm expression their way. As she, with a little smile on the edges of her cheeks, just simply says, "Ah, we are here after all. If you have something to say, we're more than happy to oblige and indulge you. Please, would you like to tell us more?"
The guy with the knife like leans back slightly in the chair, twiddling around with his knife. The other one who doesn't seem to have any weapon, but has like bandages around his head and seems to have bruises a little bit everywhere, like leans back pretty cockily in the chair, and says, "No, I think we have said everything that we wanted to. Happy
Oh,
that you noticed."
of course, I'm happy that you're relaxed. Now then, uh, Asphoda will just casually stroll to the front.
Alright, immediately, two children, one that seems to be maybe 8, the other maybe 6, were sitting on like two bar stools, their legs comically like wafting in the air since they're so high up eating lunch by the bar. And they turn to you with like gaping mouths, and like one of them like porridge like returns to his food from his mouth. And they
Oh,
start whispering excitingly to each other.
oh my gosh! And above the table, as a player, I have to make sure I got it right.
Uh-huh.
The guy who sent us here, his name was Erwin Martikov, right?
Yes.
He said he would take care of us. Everything will be handled, right?
Yeah, he offered you I think the first ale and the first night for free. And he was about to say like more, but then he said my wife would probably murder me. It's probably better to stop there.
No, that's okay. I remembered right. I recalled right. Alright, she'll go over here.
Uh-huh.
She's not going to sit in any of the stools. She's not here to accidentally break nice furniture. But
Fair.
she'll just stand like behind the chairs and says, "Hello, are you the wife of Erwin Martikov?"
Um, she takes a step forward, puts her elbows on the counter, looks you up and down, and she answers, "Yes, yes, I am. Um,
Ah,
been some time since we had your kind visiting us here. Good job of making it all the way here.
thank you. Thank you very much.
Hope the road hasn't been too harsh of a mistress."
It has certainly been an eventful journey up here. Lots of new things around, certainly different than that of past the mists, but adventure nonetheless.
Well, I can see that. It would look a little bit like worse for wear, but fear not. Um, there's warm ale, warm food. There's space for horses and for weary bodies upstairs. We got warm and dry facilities. Anybody who needs a respite from this place is welcome here.
Thank you very much. My name is Asphodel, by the way.
As
Just yes.
well
No
met.
need for. I'm sorry. What?
Well met.
Well met. Wonderful name.
Ah, oh, oh,
Oh
she
God.
got me there. Now, I would normally frown upon that, but Danica.
I understood now. It just occurred to me. Don't mind my pea-sized brain in this moment.
Danica Martikov. I heard from my fool of a husband that he spotted you on the way here, and he even talked to the burgomaster for your sake. How lucky. And how lucky for you that he has given you free ale and free stay.
I see you're quite familiar with his antics. A kind soul he is.
Too kind for this place. That's why I got
It-
me.
It's a nice balance between the two.
I would think so. I think we have a good balance, and we set a good precedent for Broom and Bray. And she looks over to them, where she sends like a sharp gaze of like, "Do not stare. It's disrespectful. Eat your porridge." And then like see her gaze and get scared and like eat porridge, but still like catching glances of you.
That's what I will just chuckle at it. It's like, as children are, they can't help themselves. Quite used to it. Especially in lands where my kind is not to be seen, or has been seen.
It was quite some time ago, I will tell you, that I saw your kind.
Oh, what sort of scales do they bear?
I was very young. I think I had um, yet to have my 20th summer when a dragonborn of bronze skin came and visited us.
Oh, bronze. Hmm. I don't often see them. I usually keep to the north. But how nice that one managed to find its way here.
Sadly, they never made it out, but let's hope that is not the case for you.
Indeed, I don't plan on it, but nobody truly plans on anything. In this place, I've come to learn.
Well said. Well, take a seat. I will bring that warm ale you were promised. But he did not promise any food.
It's quite alright. We have enough funds for it.
Perfect. A wolf stew will cost you 5 copper coins each.
Better than bat sausage.
She turns around and squints at Kelvin. That sounds delightful. And she, turns like take a seat, but then pauses at this tiny chair, then turns right back around. I don't wish to trouble you, but do you have a sturdier chair, I wish not to break this one by sitting on it.
I can see your dilemma. A barrel?
Yes, that should do.
Well, 1 second. And she scaffers in the bag, and like rolls out a barrel, moves a chair away, and plops it down for you. Pats it, like dusts it off a little bit. I am, well, what can I say? Our establishment is not used to, well, you know.
Of course, it's quite fine. And she'll take the barrel and sit upon it.
Alright, perfect. And then quickly with practice motions in this like thick ceramic mugs, she pours slightly like warm ale to warm bellies and puts it down on the table and says, "Let me know if you want anything else. Five silver for the stew, but we also have beet soup that can only go for 2."
Oh, like above the table. I thought she said 5 coppers for the stew.
Yeah.
5 coppers for the wolf stew, and then she also has
Yeah.
beet soup that goes for 2 copper coins.
Okay. I heard like silver, and I'm like, damn.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Only I had something to eat this soup with.
Wait, you eat your soup with a ladle?
You don't?
Can't say that I do. Then again, what is a spoon other than a tiny ladle?
Got you there,
I
don't I?
mean, I guess you know, maybe it's compensated for something. I don't know.
Wow! You're gonna diss Kelvin like that?
All right. Yeah.
Disrespect.
So for you,
I'll let you know that it's perfectly fine for gnome standards. Okay, I'll shut up.
all right. So two silver for the lot of you, for the wolf stew. If you want that.
Yeah, that's what I will want. 2 servings.
Oh, okay. So 2.5. Take that away from the funds. You'll get change if you only got gold.
Yep.
So, as we are waiting for like food and such, and Nick's like relaxed a little bit. The tension on his shoulders goes as he's like absorbing the atmosphere and the warm tavern. And even though people are making remarks on the side, he looks around to just the people in here, and then looks over to Kelvin and says, "So, do you see any ravens?"
He's gonna just look at you like... Not in here. Thankfully.
Where do you think they might be? I mean, I am a little bit of a loss in terms of where our next step would be. I mean, if there is a nest here, you said, of some blue ravens, are we expected to maybe check in the upstairs part, or?
Well, they said there was. So... Maybe in a tree nearby, or just somewhere on the roof we didn't see. To be honest, we might as well just check tomorrow, because I can't fucking speak to one another to them today.
Sure, but I mean, maybe something will present itself to us. It's just an interesting situation. It's like a little bit of a juxtaposition, one can say, where
Don't use fancy words on me.
fish out of water, maybe.
Thank you.
Fish out of swamp water, better. Mushroom out of swamp water. How much more do you want me to go?
You were close enough with the first one, thanks.
Gotcha. I mean, I'm sure there is something more to this wonderful tavern, but he's gonna like take a quick glance around to see if anyone's paying attention to the party, more so than just like, hey, look at them freaks.
Yeah, look at those fucking freaks point and laugh.
Yeah,
Right.
he's not interested in that. He's used to seeing that, so
Well,
more like those that are taking an interest but trying not to look like they are.
um, roll me a empathy composure. Okay.
This is a great first start, isn't it?
Get it out of the way.
Okay, yeah. I know this is just the balance of the universe, you know, from the. That other
No, I
game.
don't want 3 not once in a row.
Oh yeah.
The universe had to realign itself. Well, you do not see anyone that seems to take any special, like, beyond the freak show. These guys have already, like, tired, and you do experience a little moment between them as you glance where they more the cocky guy leans over, no, suddenly gets way more depressed as he says, Tom has been missing for so many days. Where can he have gone? I love that cat to bits. And he just up and left. He came every evening so I can give milk. What do you think? Something happened to Tom? And the more lean guy with the dagger kind of puts it aside and like leans over and like pats him. And the guy is pretty loud. Danica shouts over and she says, shouldn't you boys like be on your way home, like day drinking like this in lunchtime? Don't your mother have something better for you two to do?
Cold.
They give her they don't really pay attention to what she say. They just grunts in her direction and like says one more ale by lifting their cups, and she sighs and just moseys over and gives them ale and puts a hand on her hip and says, "This is the last one, okay? Then you two go home and sober up before your mother sees you in this state." And they like wave their hands at her. It seems to be happening quite often. The two hunters seems to be quietly talking to each other. The man with the funny hat on the table just finished his porridge and starts just plucking on his harp a bit in the corner. That's what you see.
No song in particular, just strumming.
There is a song. Was not the easiest to find, but I found it.
Is it like a traditional song or?
Oh, interesting. Yes, an entertainer.
Yeah.
Let's search your repertoire of knowledge when it comes to this. Let's do intelligence with your proficiency. So, like an academics check.
Intelligence with
Another nat one,
proficiency.
another
Oh god.
Oh.
Suck it.
16.
That's not that
Don't you
bad.
say that to me.
Willing Nyx to have nat ones.
Hey, it's entertaining.
It is not a song that comes from Barovia, but the time you were traveling around in the Protectorate, with Kelvin, and this seems to be a pretty like common song to play on the harp in the Protectorate. Maybe not like Furley's, but like a little bit in that direction.
Would Illyria have heard that before?
Probably, yes. Considering your background.
Fancy.
It brings a little
is
bit of
it-
nostalgia to you, Illyria.
So the next question, like that, Nyx would go have in his mind, I guess, as hearing this as an outsider song. Would this song have ever been played in Barovia Village or around Barovia in general?
Chances
this-
are quite slim, since it like wasn't created here, and if the Vistani didn't bring it in here, then the only way for it to have existed here is it came from an adventure from the Protectorate. But you know how scarce those are.
Of course.
Illyria is just sort of looking at the guy.
Simp.
Oh my God! Come.
Can you not?
He catches your gaze with a little bit of surprise on his face, and he nods in your direction and continues to like strum on it, seemingly a little bit lost in his own music.
I look at Deliria's interest in the man, and I just make a. I don't look at him. I kind of like looking straight forward, maybe to ask for that, and say, "It's curious that he knows songs from outside of the mist."
That one is a popular amongst the Protectorate.
I thought you were the only ones that would tourist here for the time being.
Yes, but perhaps the last group, however long ago it was, passed the song along.
Brought it here. And Illyria is still somewhat distracted and just sort of like listening to the song. She's sort of like waiting for him maybe to finish the song.
You recognize it too, Illyria.
Well, yes, it is pretty popular.
Not so much here, though, which is why it's curious. I wonder if
It
he
is.
is the entertainer of the evening.
It's kind of nice to hear something from home, though.
Nyx will go kind of quiet at that point.
You hear some doors slam, and out of the back, Irvin comes out with his cooking apron, like basically a hairnet to just remove all the hair from his face and not like have it fall down into the food. And he walks up jovially to the table, no matter how ridiculous he is looking, because he's looking quite ridiculous. And he has
I
like
think
a
he looks good.
tray with these 4 hearty like pretty large bowls. No, it's 5 of them. So, but he kind of carrying it pretty masterfully, like he has done this before, and plops it down on the table, and he says, "Oh, I'm so happy that you were here. Enjoy this too, please. It's from our 2 friends, Yevgeny and Grushkin, behind me. These good lads hunt wolves for us. Keeps the woods around here safe."
Well, it certainly looks
Illyria
delicious.
just sort of turns around, just sort of like, well, thank you guys then. Just sort of smiles. And
Thumbs
then
up.
turns back around.
And this guy gets a little bit surprised that someone is talking to him and like pulls up a cow hiding within it, while the other one like gruffs and says, "You're welcome."
Illyria's like, oh yeah, let me try to be social and fun.
Hilarious, no,
Illyria's
she never heard of it.
like Illyria just sort of like, she's like, trying to be friendly and funny, and then she realizes it's not working and just sort of like, slumps a little bit into her chair.
Yeah, God.
Aw.
Oh, Aspida just sort of chuckles as she smiles, nods to the two men there. Or can I crane her neck down to Illyria? Why so shy? They appreciate your comment.
Yeah, why so shy? They certainly do.
I
Crushkin over here might be a little bit shy.
I think I made a fool of myself again.
No,
It's
he's
okay.
just shy with everybody. I
There's
promise
nothing
you.
wrong with
It's
doing
not,
that.
It's not easy being of his kin, in these lands. So
That seems to be a theme.
It's not easy
Well,
to be anything other than a human.
quite so. But our actions can make things better, and one of them is respecting Crushkin for what he has gone through. So take it easy with him. And he passed your shoulder with like this huge bare hand.
Illyria does her best to smile a little, but she's just like, she feels defeated right now.
Aww. Beaten worse than any battle she's been in yet.
It's basically Illyria's try at like being like, how people like sometimes, like laugh and like are friendly to each other and have fun. It's like her trying to do that and just feeling like failing miserably.
From the stew that has been put in front of you now comes a very pleasant and delicate aroma of rosemary and thyme. The stew seems pleasantly thick, where you would think like wolf meat would be pretty unpalatable. It has been like steamed and like long cooked, where it's like almost falling to pieces when you eat it. So it just like melts in your mouth. There's also some really nice roasted potatoes that still holds its crisp, even though it's in the stew. And it's like the best thing you have eaten so far on the island of Domakan. Irvin looks to you all and say, "Well, hope you enjoy all of that. I got very happy when I realized you were having to, my friend. Eat up, and if you need anything more, I will be back in the kitchen. If you got any questions or anything to sort out, my lovely wife will take care of it. Want you?" And Danica looks over to him with like an expression where she tries to look angry, but she's actually like pretty happy. And she goes,
I love that. They're so nice. Are you gonna kill them?
No! Don't you dare!
Is this
Don't
the
you fucking
point?
dare. They're like two of the happiest people we fucking met.
Is this the point where I have to... Okay, I need to tell you a story after the game about what happened to this guy one time I went to...
alright, traumatizing
Why'd
the
you
players. Achievement unlocked.
Please don't. I love them.
And he pats Lyria like one more time on the back. And says, "Don't worry." And he trudges back into the kitchen, exchanging a few words with the hunter as he goes past, ruffles the hair of one of his sons, and then disappears through the door.
I thought she ruffled the hair of the hunter for a second and was very confused.
Don't make any assumptions until I finish the sentence, I guess.
Suddenly makes a change. So someone was trying to get one up on us. I wonder if these hunters are so good at their job. Maybe they know of, I don't know, any little girls they may have seen. I don't know if we can rely on just this one lead of finding the blue ravens.
Well, I do think it's worth a shot.
Certainly can't hurt.
We are here to find her after all.
Sure. I'm just trying to think about who would be the best person to speak to. And he's like, kind of more or less to the party, like lowered voice, and says, I mean, finding an inn, a common ground with strangers is always the difficult part when making new friends. And from what I can see, they seem to be really into their bows and their hunting. And then looks to Calvin and says, fancy having a chat about archery or something?
Kevin looks scared. You're making him have a chat with someone.
He sees and looks scared and like holds his wrist and just like as a comfort and says, "Don't worry, I'm sure Aurelia will be eager to jump in any time that you get lost, and will cast guidance."
Aw.
He didn't say it.
Illyria's just like, I can either come with you right now, or I'll just be right here when you need me.
I prefer that. Yeah. Can I eat my food first?
Of course.
I'm assuming with Calvin's mannerisms that the soup would not exist for very long.
At this, Illyria just
No, there's just a couple scraps, but he needs to finish it, you know?
yeah.
Yeah.
Really scraping
Lick the bowl clean.
The bottom. Yeah.
Mm.
Illyria probably still hasn't eaten like half of it.
I, on the other hand, am curious about the music, so
So am I. I was been hoping to maybe be able to ask about it after, well,
Well, what you have noticed that when the song stopped, he immediately picked it up again. So he's just repeating this few release, basically.
That's what
okay,
it's like.
that makes her curious.
That's the sad looking fella, right?
Illyria, get up and walk over to him.
Yeah, sure. Go up and walk over there.
Do you always play the same song again and again?
He becomes a little bit startled, seeing you like next to him, and his fingers like trail off the song. And he stands up from the chair, putting like this very colorful, basically circus hat to his chest, and he says, "Ooh, you scared me."
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. It's a beautiful song. I was just curious.
Curious.
Well, yes. It's a song that I'm quite familiar with.
His gaze looks over towards the other sitting by the table you just left, and he says, I wasn't sure since you're a half elf, but I take it that, like me, you do not come from here."
I do not.
Yeah, well, me too. It's it's a common song outside of here, but apparently not inside of here, and then, it makes things easier because, while other people would say their ears bleed from this song, here it's fresh and new.
That is very true.
Wow.
It's nice to hear something from home again, though.
Oh. I can imagine that. Victavio, Carnival Master.
Lady Illyria Feathermore.
Lady Illyria Feathermore of the Protectorate.
Yes. Of the Protect.
Well, I'm sorry for your parents.
I'm sorry.
Well, you're here. They're there.
I do intend to return.
How?
I'll find a way, whatever it takes.
Well, when you find a solution, come and get me.
I'll keep it in mind. So, I mean, all of us are stuck here, but how did you get in this predicament?
Well, I lost my last carnival crew. I'm trying to pick up a new one. I heard that there were some interesting folks here in the central areas of Domokan. I just thought it was some mists, and here I am.
I'm sorry.
Well, I don't think that there are so many troubadours here, so maybe I can eke out a living by being, quite frankly, the circus freak myself.
I'm sorry.
Well, is it your fault?
It is not.
And we share the same fate.
I guess we do. If you, I don't know, ever need any help or anything,
Should keep that in mind. Likewise.
feel free to
I've
let
spent
us
some
know.
time in here and I have more of an, what they like to say, an outsider perspective on things. You hear things when you play in a tavern for hours.
I'd love to maybe hear a bit more about the place sometime. I'm sure my companions would too. We're still trying to find our way around.
What do you like to know?
I mean, we are still quite unfamiliar with the place. We do have a few things that we need to do. I mean, I can. If they have any questions,
Well, what I can first say is that, as a general piece of advice, that Irvin and Danica are way too kind for this place. Carl and Nikolai over there, the two teenagers, their mother is the second most powerful person in Vallaki. So stay clear from them, they're trouble. The hunters are nice, don't speak much. Two of those commoners over there, what the Barovians would like to call halvers. They do not tip well. And between you and me, follow the rules of Vallaki.
I do not
Consequences.
intend on breaking any yet.
And if you ever come upon what they call the other one,
The other one?
nobody knows how they look. Only that that people change after meeting this person. Become broken. Change personalities.
I'll be careful.
He nods. And then he says a bit louder. Yes, well, I graciously accept any tips that you have. And he holds out his hat.
It's a scam!
Scam.
That hits way too close to home. Illyria just tosses a gold coin in.
He looks down, looks up at you, smiles. Furthermore, indeed.
What if I told you that was almost a tenth of my wealth?
That you're not particularly smart, furthermore.
I wouldn't be a soldier if I was. She just walks away.
Raises one eyebrow, and sits down, tucks away the coin, brings up the harp again, and continues like playing on that one Fearly song.
Well, you seem to be having a nice conversation.
He is indeed from the Protectorate. Something about losing a carnival crew and coming here. I mean, he's an entertainer. He knows some stuff. People talk in taverns. Also thinks I'm stupid.
Who doesn't?
I
1d4 psychic damage.
And I'm not even a bird.
That was a vicious mockery.
I'm wary about new faces. There are plenty here. Did he seem on the level to you?
He seemed alright.
It's just a little strange that if he's from the Protectorate and he's managed to get through the mist, it's not something that generally really happens. So I wonder how many people are from outside the mist here.
Have we heard of any other outsiders than us coming here lately?
Well,
Not
I know.
lately, but there were another adventuring group about 4 to 5 years ago. With
Okay, have we heard about a random dude looking for a new carnival crew coming in here?
No.
The only other people that I can think of that we have met that are from outside is, well, Ezzy.
We know somebody from the Protectorate who might be here.
Cool.
Allura just looks at Nyx like, did you already forget?
You know who?
Gesture making like head gestures like that guy. That guy.
You know Essie didn't... You know Essie is looking for somebody?
Yes. I'm aware, but... And she was going to find him in his tower, I think, but... Why would... Are you suggesting that a random bard who plays one song in a tavern is some Monster Hunter. That doesn't make any sense.
Bad. We also know that his son is supposedly somewhere.
Huh. I mean, it's. I just want to make it clear that short of you three sitting here, there isn't that many people that come through the mist.
Did
and
I
if you-
did I get a feeling that anything was off about his story?
Uh, um, hmm. Off about his story or about his mannerisms?
Like his story, his mannerisms.
The fact that he plays one song.
Oh, yeah. Also, I mean, I don't know how well known is Illyria's family.
I mean, one of them, controls the whole
That is very
magic
true.
shebang. So pretty high up. But let's make an empathy composure.
God.
And a investigation roll for the story. Since there's two different elements, like nitpicking on the story is like an investigation, nitpicking him is like an empathy composure.
If it helps, I suck at both.
That makes a lot of sense.
Classic Illyria.
Why do I feel so useless?
Lean into it. It's part of the character.
Yeah,
I don't know. I feel like I'm completely useless.
So
Hey, soldiers aren't that good at talking most of the time. But it seems you do most of the talking.
the roleplay is the most important. So this is the empathy or the investigation?
Empathy, and this is the investigation.
Well, you can say like yes or no. You don't have any opinions upon this story. Nothing like really comes to mind. His mannerisms. He seems pretty serious for being a carnival master.
Illyria's just like, I mean, he does seem a bit, doesn't seem like the entertainer type of guy, as she just awkwardly looks at Nyx.
Are you saying I'm more of an entertaining kind of guy?
I mean, I would say have you looked at yourself, but I'm pretty sure you do that quite a lot whenever there's a mirror around.
What?
There is some insults flowing over this table.
Did I
This
do
is some
something
good
to
soup.
upset you, Illyria? I mean, something a little bit uncalled for to just randomly insult me?
I'm just saying you are very confident.
One way to put it, using a verbal arrow shot.
Right,
Wait, somebody has a bow?
No,
Well.
no,
I still need to get one.
Oh. You death stares you. You trying to steal mine?
No.
That's what I
Well,
thought.
I'd say I can afford my own bow, but that would be a lie.
How to say.
well, if somebody has a knife and a large stick, I can make something out of that.
And Illyria is also like, she's gonna like, sort of like try to, like, without obviously like drawing any attention, she's gonna point to like the two like teenager. As like, apparently those two are the sons of the second most powerful woman in the town.
Person or woman?
He insinuated
Woman?
person.
He insinuated person. Is like,
Because there's some types of difference, because most of the time, I'm sorry to say, but women aren't given the best things, so.
Illyria just raises an eyebrow at you.
Hey,
Nyx has a raised
don't give
eyebrow.
me shit, I'm not in
Illyria.
control.
Well, seems like we've got a little bit angsty, perhaps. I think I'm going to powder my nose. And Nix will get up and like.
It's just like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to, like.
Yeah, no, no, you said what you said, Illyria. I mean, clearly you think me as someone who is vain, and that is all there is to me. But he'll go up to Illyria and like get real close to her face and says, "I can assure you, there is much more to me than just my looks." And walks by.
Okay.
There he goes again.
Alair is just like, you could show that sometime, you know?
Kelvin's just like,
Damn. Alright, where does Nix head to?
He's looking for the bathroom.
He's actually going to the bathroom.
Yes.
Wait, where is the bathroom? I need to
Is there a
scroll up.
bathroom?
Oh, there's an outhouse. That's
An
where I can't
outhouse?
find it.
Okay. Sure. Okay, he's
Sure.
gonna go to the outside.
Yeah, it's over here. Over there.
Okay.
I actually have. There you go.
Hmm.
And he's actually just going to go to the bathroom.
No.
Okay.
But he was more of an excuse to like make Illyria feel bad about her insult.
Wow!
wow.
I mean, if it makes you feel better, Illyria feels sufficiently terrible. Like, she's genuinely somewhat like, I don't know, like, she's not really upset, but like, she's just sort of like, I fucked up look, but she's eventually gonna turn to Kelvin and be like, should we talk to those hunters?
Sounds like a good idea. And don't worry, he'll be back.
Aspara's just gonna like go on her second bowl of soup, going, looking at the whole situation.
By the way, tell me if you're
Coordinated.
not going to finish that.
I'm trying to be polite, to not, have it disappear in a few seconds.
You saying I'm not polite?
No, you said that, not I.
Shit, you're right.
It's fine.
Let's go
I
talk to the hunters.
Alright.
got this.
I'll be listening to every word.
Wait, it's the hunters over the top, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those-
Yeah.
Okay, good. I just gotta make sure that I didn't drag my token to the wrong place.
As you approach the table, you can see like a panicked look in the eye of the half orc, and he like draws the like cowl closer to himself, and he kind of like leans away from you guys, like needing more space.
Are there half-orcs in the Protectorate?
They're not common, but they would be like a few.
Okay.
Half orcs usually have, the whole thing, live hard, die young kind of outlook
Yeah.
on life. Doesn't really work with Copperbeard's like discipline. But the other hunter, clearly a half elf, who is able to grow such a magnificent beard, grunts towards you guys. Yes. Can we
I was just
help
wondering,
with
did you actually pay the fucking insane amount to get that thing insured? And he's gonna point to their bows.
Illyria is just sort of like baffled.
something? Well, we had to.
Were they hassling you?
It's not really about a hustle, boy. It's just the rules.
Something you need to do.
Yes, well, we're hunters. We bought the license. We get the equipment. Besides, Vargas benefits from our work. We hunt wolves.
You hunt damn tasty ones, yeah.
To be honest, it's only Irvin who can work such magic with such tough meat. The half-orc
Still
nods.
damn tasty.
Well,
It's pretty good.
beats meats.
Is that a play on words, or are you actually saying that it does beat beats?
Both.
Nice. But where'd you go hunting around here? Because I myself do a bit of it, but I had to give him in my bow.
Well, we usually stick close to the roads, stick close to Vallaki. Take care of the area just north of here towards the lake for the fishermen coming in and out of town. Try to
Would
stay
you
clear
have
of the Vistani camp, but we make trade with Seligo.
Would you have noticed a tiefling girl, like, with, you know, people who aren't tieflings anywhere around here recently? Because something's happening.
Tiefling girl. What would
Yeah,
the Vistani
young.
do? A young Vistani do inside of the gates of Vallaki?
I was thinking more outside, but maybe.
Outside. Well, we have seen a few tiefling girls around the camp.
Well,
Anywhere far.
outside the camp, some alone or with somebody else.
Sometimes they bathe in the lake. But we stay away from that. We do not want to anger the Vistani. If they find that we have been close to their children, we are barred from entering their area and make trade with Seligo.
We're looking for a missing girl, so if you've seen anything out of the ordinary.
Yes, that's why there's been so many Vistani out in the woods so lately. They're like swarming the place.
Also,
Makes me
as
real
Illyria
fucking
says that,
anxious.
as Illyria says that, can Kelvin like see if there's any sort of reaction on the two's faces, like, you know, if anything other than, oh, okay, somebody's gone missing.
Sure. Let's roll empathy composure.
Empathy composure. I need to find the figures for that. Where the fuck is it? If my page will load.
And since Asphoda is listening, can she make one too? Oh,
Sure.
nice.
Hey. 2.
Okay.
So 14. You do see some curious glances coming from like below the cowl of the half orc, but the half elf with the low gravelly voice I'm trying to do seems to be mostly like calm and like undisturbed. Seems to have a very
So nothing given away.
smooth kind of emotional state. Old man vibes. If you know what I mean.
God, old people, am I right?
Yeah.
Well. Thank you for your time anyway.
Well, I didn't know why the Vistani was outside so much. Hope they calm down so we can go out hunting soon.
They'll calm down when something's found.
Well, if you notice anything, please tell us. It'll make it maybe calm down sooner.
Well, if they find their missing girl, then we can get back to what we do best, so definitely. And the half-orc on the other side of the table like nods and go, grunts in agreement with the half-elf. Yevgeny. Krushkin. I realized it was somewhat disrespectful to, not introduce ourselves, but
I don't think we introduced ourselves either.
can I have a name in return?
Lady Illyria Feathermore.
Lady.
By the way, Arrow's power cut out.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. Also, Kelvin's got back to the table because he saw Nick's return. He wasn't liking having that chat.
Well, as for us eating food, Yevgeny nods to Illyria. Do you sit down again by the table?
Illyria's like, thanks for your help. Sees that Nyx is back and walks over to the bar instead.
Okay. Like she turns around, sees him there, and then changes direction. Damn. We got to the bar. Danica finishes, rummaging around there. Turns to you. Yes, dear.
She's gonna ask for another ale, and she's just gonna like sit down at the bar.
She pours it, and as she does, having a rough time here. I see it in your expression. A spark that is about to go out.
I'm all right. I think I messed up again, and I mean, this whole place doesn't help.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
Welcome back.
What did I miss?
Illyria finished the conversation with the hunters, who agreed to give the party information if they find something out, because they can't really roam in the woods like they did before, because there's a bunch of Bastani everywhere. Upon returning to the table, Illyria, seeing Nyx having returned, turns around and goes up to the bar instead. Danica says, I think it's a little bit of a mistake from your side to see failure as necessary as messing up. Failure can be an important step.
I don't see how a failure is a failure.
You're seeing things in black and white. The failure can still bring you closer to your goal.
I don't think any of my failures ever brought me closer to a goal. Then again, it's not like I have one. Can I ask you something?
Yeah, go ahead, Speedy.
This Rictario guy,
Xavier? Yes, a traveling carnival master.
do you know how long he's been around?
He's not been here long. No. He's still hot gossip here. And I will tell you that he hasn't been here that long. think a month ago.
Huh. Interesting.
He came to Vallaki for a while, and then took his wagon and left, and has come back again. Headed to Kresk.
Oh, he's been to Kresk?
Yes, wanted to see more of the land and trying to find members to be a part of his carnival.
I assume he had no success.
Well, he is here alone, sweetie. But it's sure nice to have some music in this place.
That is true. I like the song.
To be honest, I'm getting a little bit tired of it.
How long has he been playing that?
For as long as he's been here, well, he knows one other song, but that's the evening song. He only plays it during the evenings. This is the day song, only plays it during the day. Jeez.
I need to make sure to hear the evening song.
Well, it's a little bit more exciting.
Have you ever asked him about it?
Of course, I have. I asked him, hey, Octavio, don't you have anything else in your repertoire? And he says, I'm a carnival master, not a harp player. With that very sullen tone that he has, don't you agree?
That is very true. I mean, no offense, but this place isn't
The greatest of the mood.
necessarily. Yeah, especially when you try to come to terms with the fact that you're stuck here.
Yes, indeed true. But there still might be hope. Who knows?
I do intend to leave here one day if I don't lose my mind before that.
I'm glad to hear it, that your spark hasn't been completely consumed by this place. Keep it. You need it. I would also recommend
One more.
if you're ever traveling back towards Barovia, at the village, that you pass through Tsir Pool. The Vistani are usually quite welcoming to outsiders, and as long as you're respectful to them, and respectful to the devil, you might be able to meet the Third Eye, Madame Eva. She is usually of great help for people like you.
About that.
Do you know her?
I know of her. She's a monument in Barovia. Always been here, and maybe always will be here. She has prophetic powers. She might be able to guide you on your path.
Maybe.
Maybe find peace.
Oh yeah. One more thing before I stop bothering you.
Well, you're not really bothering me, sweetie. I'm just waiting for those two drunkards to be finally finished and go home. It's about the extent of what I'm doing right now.
Do you know why there's so many ravens around the place?
Well, in they're a sign of good luck. So we feed them. They flock here. To be honest, it keeps the bats away.
I've had enough of bats.
I see what you mean. Well, sweetie, if there's anything I can help you and your friends with, we're here. We need to take care of each other. Those who have souls left and sanities intact. If you have any questions about Vallaki, then please ask them before you suffer the consequences.
Thanks.
Alright. She leaves you alone to your drink. But you stay at the bar?
Oh yeah, she stays at the bar. Hilaria doesn't like to deal with the consequences of her actions.
Oh wow!
That much is evident.
Wow.
Broob and Bray finishes their food. Danica goes over here to like help them like clean up, scolds them a little bit for being messy. Then they like take out these toys, basically like two wooden toy soldiers, play war with each other. It's like to run around the house. Sit down like underneath a table, talk to each other, play war. What's happening over at the table?
Well, fast, we're just like eating, and Kelvin is talking about the food. Nix will eat as well. But he has an idea. With like Illyria at the bar. He's gonna like excuse himself. Like, I'll be right back. Don't worry about me. And he's gonna go up to was it Davika?
Yeah, Danica.
Danica, and says, my compatriots seem to rather enjoy the meal that has been prepared. I wonder if I would be allowed to pay compliments to the chef.
Oh, he would love that. The buffoon. Go in here through the door and stroke his ego.
Well, I mean, I should try, but okay. It's a weird choice of words.
Don't make
which
him
door?
give you any more free food, though.
Nix gives like a bashful smile. Go into the kitchen. And what's
Irvin seems
Erwin
to
doing?
be up to like cleaning the area. It seems like lunch service is basically like ended with you guys, so he's doing dishes, putting away stuff, that kind of stuff. He'd probably be elbow deep in a sink with like froth everywhere and still that hairnet. Keeping all his hair back. It's almost look like a balloon on his head that is just full of like salt and pepper hair. And like a hat almost. And he turns to you and he says, Vistani
my
not
apologies.
Vistani?
Tiefling. But I thought it would be prudent of me to come back here, and given the feedback that I've had from a party from the Protectorate, they were quite enamored with your prepared meal of wolf stew.
They were? They were liked it? Did they
Very much so.
pick up the pepper root in the bottom of it?
I don't know, actually. I mean, I will have to ask them, but I think it was just more of the general experience of eating such exquisite food. This is by far the best kind of food that we have tasted so far, being within the mists. I thought that
He cleans himself on a towel and he gets this really stupid grin and he just says, "Oh really? Is that true? Oh, you flatter me. Thank you."
I can obviously see a master at work. Don't be shy. I know how much effort and love you put into your food. So, and it comes through.
As a secret ingredient, you know? Always the saying. Love and passion.
Absolutely. And I thought with someone who has such passion as you towards food, I was wondering, one of my party members seems to also be interested in food. Well,
The one
actually,
who
more
eats
than
2
one.
balls?
Yes, absolutely. And she has made a delicacy recently that is a little in your face, shall we say?
Are you trying to get him to prepare bets?
Well, and with a master such as yourself, I thought it would be a nice gesture on my behalf towards her to perhaps, if you could find a way, it is quite a strong flavor, to incorporate it into a meal that will be specific for her. I'm willing to pay, of course, but without her without telling her that it is her own food that she is eating.
Quite the romantic, are we? Well, I love this idea. What am I working with?
He produces the spicy sausage from his pocket that he put in there when he attempted, well, fake ate the sausage that she gave him.
He whiffs it, like smells it, becomes a little bit suspicious, takes a bite of it, and then that's strong. Did someone just tip the spice bar in here?
Well, if you well, take into consideration where we're from and her particular racial tastes, she seemed to enjoy it, at least. It is very strong, but then I'm sure you're used to having such overwhelming flavors in a kitchen before. I don't know. I'm not that well versed in cookery. I, in fact, rely on my short friend to provide me, and I am eternally grateful. So I know that he gets wonderful satisfaction out of seeing me enjoy his food. I thought I'd offer if someone else could do the favor in kind to ask for that.
And it's only this sausage and for one person.
Well, I also have this, and he's gonna produce the potion of youth.
Wait.
He takes a look at it and he smells it. This syrup, and he says, "Well, this smells like some honey or some sweet tree sap, and I'm not entirely sure what it is. Do you? What is this? I've never seen it before."
I am, like I said, I'm not 100% on cooking, so I just know that occasionally if you put really spicy food with really sweet things, maybe it comes out balanced.
Sometimes, or they can just be both overpowering.
If it is too difficult, that's fair enough. It was merely a possibility. I just figured with someone with such skill that you have, that if anyone could do it, you can.
Well, I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm saying maybe we just won't use all of this golden syrup, but maybe we can make a sweet and savory tomato sauce that we really like push towards the sweet side. I do have some really nice big tomatoes back in the pantry, and then we do a potato mash with butter and some cream instead of the syrup.
You seem to be getting into the swing of things. I can certainly assist if possible, but I think the master at work by himself might be more applicable. I'm happy to pay for your services if you would prefer.
No, you don't have to worry about that. And from the other room, Danica shouts, "You do need to worry about that."
We are going to be here for a while, I should say, and we plan to stay here, I presume. You have quite a nice atmosphere, so wherever you can use me. I am myself an entertainer. Overheard rather, that your wife stays for, is it Victoria, or whatever his name is. This
Well, Rictavio
inabilities.
is such a kind fellow coming here and playing for us.
I myself am used to entertaining other people, mostly from tales of adventure and grand sacrifice and romance. And I'm writing my own book.
Oh, how interesting. Do you have some nice tales to tell us? Maybe recite some poetry?
Irvin, you would not believe the tales that I have in this book. I am more than happy to entertain your clientele, to stay longer, to spend more coin in your establishment. If you would do this one thing for me, I could do this one thing for you.
Well, then I think Danica must agree. And from the other side of the door, that is acceptable. I will let this sausages simmer in the tomato soup for about 3 hours. I will deepen the flavor. That should then be finished by early dinner. Does that sound good?
Absolutely. And the presentation, if you could, well, elegance is the word of the day, I think. Even though she is quite a substantial lady, she also has a delicateness about her.
You do eat with your eyes as well as with your mouth. I understand you, sir.
Gives a coy smile and a wink to him, and holds out his hand and says, "I believe you will do remarkable things with this." And if he takes his hand, he will like kind of cast guidance through him.
Oh, he gets like the warmth and the tingle through his hand, and he looks down on it and with like a surprised look, and then looks up to you with like a large and warm smile. We are happy to have you here. I'm looking forward to the tales you will spin.
Happy to be here, Irvin. You're most kind. And he will take steps back to the table.
All right. Calvin, Asphodel,
Yes.
do you sit and eat, stare into each other's eyes longingly,
Oh God.
or what do you
Whoa.
spend the time doing?
Challenge
She-
each other to eat more food.
She is really tasting the stew. Like, a wolf stew. You know, it's a new place, new food. Trying to get the flavors. At least try to taste the flavors.
Are you trying to shame Kelvin?
No, it's like for her sake. It's like it's just new food. My food is like abhorrently spicy, so she's just like.
Yeah, it's pretty horrible, not gonna
You
lie.
She's trying it out.
All right. Then Nyx returns to the table. All right. It's probably 2 o'clock, 2:30. Reminding you guys that you have afternoon tea with the burgomaster, unless you wanna not be punctual.
No, we gotta be punctual.
But you might still have some time to fool around, but maybe not too much until you start becoming
I thought we could be
disrespectful.
fashionably late.
How about no?
Let's not.
Fine.
Then again, Ilaria is still just like sitting at the bar.
Illyria, come sit back down. Come on.
No.
No, I don't want to.
Whoa!
Oh. Sound like a ghost child.
I mean, if you actually say that, she will throw something at you.
He did say that.
You try to throw like a napkin that you were given with the ale to like clean the froth from your mouth, but you know, throwing napkins. I mean, is never easy, and it's just like pathetically nibbled towards the ground, like 30 centimeters away from you.
Plus, the wall called Asphodel is in the way.
Ilaria
wall.
just
Fair. It's fair.
Ilaria just gets up and is like, "Well, are we going for tea or something?"
Yes, we shouldn't be late for that.
Quite a different atmosphere there. So, nobility and manners, Kelvin, and punctuality.
So, am I
and-
just supposed to not come or something?
No. You have to come. Just how sticky are your hands right now?
He's gonna rub his hands together and see if he actually can.
Let's roll a 1d100.
Roll for stickiness.
Let's roll for the percentage of the stickiness of your hands.
55.
They're about average for you.
Average stickiness.
Yeah.
Clammy even.
I think they're fine, yeah.
If we are to try and pass ourselves off as nobility of the protectorate, there is an outhouse just outside the door, Kelvin. There's a washroom. Try and, I don't know, do a little bit hygiene related things.
Calvin looks offended.
We've been on the road a few days, I didn't want to say anything, but if anyone's going to say anything, it's going to be me. But my friend, Daim,
Fine. For your sake.
thank you for saving my nose.
And he's gonna go and actually wash his hands.
First time in his life.
Well, you guys, wow.
He doesn't know how to do it. He doesn't know what the fuck soap is.
Oh,
No.
So do I eat this or?
oh, okay. Let's quickly just skip over that. And you all take a moment to like prepare yourself, dusting yourself off, going to the washroom, removing the stickiness of hands. Before you're ready to head on out towards the Burgomaster's mansion. But before then, we're gonna take a quick little break, refill our glasses, empty our bladders.
Good, because the only thing I have to drink here is Monster, and I don't think you want me to drink that again.
No. No.
Okay, I'll go get a water bottle.
Do that.
Properly hydrate yourself.
Yeah. Hydrate, homie.
Water isn't needed.
Let me fix the ambience. There we go. I'm gonna go and get myself some whiskey shad. Give the whiskey emote in the shad for my whiskey.
Bake.
Okay. Aspida, you back to. Oh, sorry.
I am.
Aerinox. I'm
Yep.
Aerinox. Cool. Julie,
I'm here.
I guess we're waiting on Weeble. I think that is indeed true. The true.
I think so.
You speak the true.
Indeed.
I have arrived, and with an
You
actual
have
drink.
arrived.
Nice.
Mm. Need to-
I want everybody to pay attention now to the stream because I just got in the mail earlier today a poster
On the stream.
of the
You better show.
Ooh.
Oh, nice.
Ah!
so good,
Oh,
and it's also really good quality. Like it is
Yo.
pretty thick, and so it's alright. So this is going to be another Kickstarter
Thick
reward.
with 4 C's.
So and it came out really nice, and it has this like matte finish on it. So you can like have your maps of Frostmark
Ooh.
in like
ooh.
in physical form on your wall or for your players. So yeah, so cool,
Matt, finish.
so cool.
Imagine like having players.
Julie, you have us, and we are gods.
Oh, you.
Shit. Wrong overlay.
May I remind you of that one time you wanted somebody's couch as a quest reward?
Shh. I still want a water dog, okay? I want a water dog.
The new map pack that came out from the Patreon that I have followed, Brenna's Battle Map, so it's giving us all of these animated Strahd stuff. It recently came
nice.
out with the Vallaki one. So I was like, yes, I'm getting get like animated street views, but the whole map pack is corrupted. Sadness. So I only have
Oh,
the
no.
still version, but in the future this might be animated.
Sadness.
Still pretty good. Like, very good.
And the same poster as well. I was very surprised because I got the poster somewhere else. So that was a really happy accident. Yes.
Yes.
But let us bring it in again. You leave the tavern in the soft rain of the afternoon. Most people are inside or working their different trades by this point. Still utilizing, the daylight hours for whatever trade they do. So the streets are less trafficked than they were this morning, and there's also less of a commotion. But there's still some souls that run in between locations in the rain, still openly staring at you or avoiding you.
Nix does his best to pass himself off as nobility.
We went from servant to nobility real quick.
As in, like a servant, a noble servant.
So
a
Nyx needs to
squire.
somehow look even more lavish.
Well, no, less but more. I suppose it's like a squire, like a muted elegance.
Yeah, I get you. You
You
hold
can
yourself
mute
up.
Nyx?
No one can mute Nix, but you know.
There's
About to
mute
say,
button on this?
if only I had that button like a while ago.
Reduce the volume.
Yeah, just like a remote, just down.
But Illyria and Calvin did go past this place. To get there, you need to cross the town square.
Ah, the fun place.
And now Asvida and Nyx also see the 5 men, women, and one that seems to be like a young teenager in the stocks with plastic donkey heads over their heads.
Oh my. That is quite a sight. You see this, Kelvin? Poor people.
We've
Sadly, yeah.
seen it before, yeah.
Hmm.
You didn't think to mention this?
I didn't want to.
Right. Well, I suppose. I'd hate
It's not
for
a
us
nice
to
thought.
be one of those people. We certainly are not that forgiving, and if capital punishment is everything here in Vallaki, I suppose we do our best to not infuriate or have any reason for the enforcement to find us guilty of any reason.
I'll try my best not to get caught.
You and me both.
Hmm?
All right, but you walk past the square, down a road with quite slightly larger houses in the upper echelons of society. Kelvin, Ariru, I hope you learned this new word now.
Fucking fancy words. You're not my English teacher.
Until you stand outside this building here, where indeed there's a fence, guards standing by the fence, and on a plaque on one of the stone pillars of this fence, it says Vallaki. The guards recognize you. Seems to be a gruff-looking woman, seemingly halberd, because she only gives you a cautious look and says very, very promptly, "The burgomaster is awaiting you. Just head on in."
I give a nod and I open the gate for Illyria.
Oh god.
Bow my head slightly.
Oh god, Illyria tries to act like she's not very uncomfortable. It's like, okay, I just ignored you and kind of insulted you, and I still feel bad, but I need to pretend you're my servant now.
Ooh, it's tough.
Tough times call for tough decisions, I guess.
But Illyria tries to put on like the sort of noble facade again.
All right, and the door indeed is unlocked. This seems like the mansion is like doubling as. You don't really get a super private feeling about the mansion. It seems to be like doubling as a government building, right? There's foot traffic in and out of here. But let's go over there. Animation. Framed portraits adorn the walls of this grand foyer, which features a wide staircase with a sculpted railing. A long carpeted hall attached to foyer stretches almost the length of the mansion, and several doors leading away from it, including one at the far end. Bundles of twigs are heaped against the walls. And you do hear sound of people talking coming from this door over here. But there's no one else inside of where you're standing right now.
Should I announce us? I don't know what they do. I'm just masquerading here. I'm not actually your servant, Illyria.
Really?
Really?
Thanks for the reminder.
So I'm happy to assume this wrong, but you're gonna have to give me some pointers here.
I mean, I guess usually I think, somebody would tell us where to go. It's quite rude to just barge in somewhere. But
In my experience, I don't think nobles really bother asking; they just do.
you're not wrong.
So, what's the plan? How would you like to proceed?
I guess we just try to knock where we hear the voices coming from
Knock, knock.
and, announce ourselves.
Nix looks to Asphoda and says, second opinion?
I'm not entirely familiar with the customs of nobility, and as you can see, and she gestures to her very lack of formal clothing.
You mean her lack of clothing?
Wearing Nix's tunic.
Yeah.
Tunic.
Tunic.
The tunic.
The tunic.
Okay, let's focus up.
Well, I think first impressions or second impressions, however many impressions we have to be on theme. But stop me if you feel otherwise.
No, you're right, and we need to keep this up.
Very well. I hope you're ready for this.
Why wouldn't I be?
You're you?
Nick gives like a sharp look to Kelvin and say, "No, this is not the time to do this sort of thing, Kelvin. I know it's only jest, but if we are meant to like pass ourselves off,
Illyria is gonna get so drunk, you have no idea.
Is that a coping mechanism?
What I think it is.
So yeah, like Nix does licks his fingers and like plays with Illyria's hair if you let him to like do it up in a little bit nicer way or like more together way because she hasn't really done that.
Illyria at first is like just just getting away a little bit, but when she realizes what you're trying to do, she begrudgingly lets you.
Oh right, okay, makeover.
Makeover time!
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
queen. Slay. Okay.
I didn't think I'd ever hear that.
We're
in
gonna
this
make you
fucking campaign.
fairs.
So fairs.
He'll do some things with her hair. He'll like pinch her cheeks briefly to like make them like less ashen, I suppose. I don't know what her complexion's like.
Her complexion is fine, thank you very much.
No, but more like there's some blush in it, and yeah, he does all these like small little things as much as he can, straightens her up a little bit. Goes, well,
Let's roll a makeup roll here, okay? Like a makeover roll.
It's a
What would this
makeup
be?
roll? Oh my
It's a
god!
makeover roll.
A makeover roll. Let's do a since we're trying to like persuade people here, let's do just a manipulation. How can you manipulate Illyria?
persuasion manipulation,
Quite a few ways.
No, just a
raw manipulation.
A raw manipulation. Since you do not have like makeover as a craft.
Sure. Manipulate Illyria. Go.
Yeah. Woo!
Yeah, it's pretty easy.
You're
Yes, queen.
the feeling that you get from Nyx hovering around you, Illyria, is almost like the feeling you got from, those attendants your parents would bring in when they have to make you appear in, an official capacity. And it's making you a little bit uncomfortable, like, why, no.
Yeah, Illyria does look quite uncomfortable and somewhat pissed off.
Nix like kind of tries
But-
to ignore it because there's like a need at hand.
You never looked so good pissed off for a very long time.
And as he's done, and he's like, just for a few moments, he goes, I hope this goes well. As much as we like to just say, I do believe you've got the ability within you to represent us, Illyria. And gives, as I guess he's close and like touching her and stuff like that, you just like give her like a quick peck on the cheek. And cast guidance through his lips.
Wait, what?
Not on the cheek,
Does he
just
say
like just
guidance as well? He does it.
No, only Kelvin says guidance.
I mean, he is Vistani. Like, if anyone would like read other people, like an Italian would, I guess the Vistani would.
Yeah, but
Che bello.
I think it is something that Illyria wasn't expecting at all.
Allora.
So, and like it was just like so briefly, and as Illyria is stunned, turns on his heels, goes to the door that is like with the voices behind it, slams it open, and goes, "Lady Illyria Feathermore of the Protectorate."
Valeria just fucking hides behind Astra.
That was Illyria's genuine reaction.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Illyria just sort of like rushes after Nyx and is like, Nyx, we talked about that.
Yeah, but the door is open now.
Yeah, the door's open.
You really don't have to do those like grand entrances. Illyria just sort of like tries to push him to the side and just like, I'm so sorry.
Alright, you can walk in there if you want to.
Yeah, I was like gonna say like he walks in like it's like 'cause
Okay.
if the door is going on the inward side,
Yes.
he would do that. Yeah, basically burst through the doors like he owns the place.
Oh no! Illyria rushes in afterward. It's like, look, we talked about that. Not like this.
Oh, what does Aspida say?
She's like trying to keep it together, keep it together. And while they're walking, chasing after Nyx in a way. She's
Illyria looks like she just wants to die right now.
Don't just keep not.
But Aspida's kind of like looking perplexed.
Look, Illyria isn't that depressed, okay?
No,
Wait,
she wasn't.
actually.
She wasn't like looking perplexed at Illyria. She's looking perplexed at all these things of wood everywhere.
Oh yeah, no, but I meant because thingy said about Illyria looking like she wants to die, like
Oh, this one isn't
Yeah.
open up.
Illyria is she's quite embarrassed.
Alright, you get a little bit of red in the cheeks. If that makes sense. Staring back at you are 7 pairs of female half-elven eyes, looking quite surprised. The one in the head table, at the head seat, I mean, actually stands up really quickly and puts her hands close to her chest, and she flinches as she was reacting to something scary. She was jump scared. And like take a step back, and you can definitely see on her face that her breath, she missed a heartbeat there. Otherwise, you can see a chandelier of wrought iron that is fitted with wax candles hanging above a polished wooden dining table. Indeed, there are women seated here of various ages in comfortable high-backed chairs. They wear faded clothes, drink tea, and devour cake. Like, they looked up seeing you come in, but most of them actually just go back like ravenous wolves, just making this cake disappear into their gullets before basically it's too late. But this last woman, the 7th woman, is well dressed, and seems to stand with a juxtaposition of both being scared and have authority in the same time. She immediately goes, "Ah! Oh, oh, I've heard about your presence here in Vallaki. It's Lady Illyria Feathermere, was it not?"
Yes. I apologize. I'm still trying to
No,
work on his manners.
You were invited to tea, but I didn't expect you to burst in so.
Oh, I apologize. I don't. I'm trying to work on it. He likes to make those grand entrances. I'm so sorry.
Oh, no, it's your guests. Well, we're here just talking about the upcoming festival and preparation and stuff like that. But Vargas is in the other room. Let me actually let me introduce you to him properly.
Yeah. Thank you.
Ladies, continue having the discussion that we were having, especially about how to organize all the food for the children at the orphanage, and how to be respectful to them and the rest of the people there. We don't want them too close, but we don't want to be disrespectful, okay? And they all look up to her, and there's like a murmured yes, and of course, my lady. But especially you, Asvida, they don't seem that interested. They're here to eat.
Quite alright.
Oh my, oh, oh my morning lord, you are very, very tall.
Ah, thank you. It is quite.
You look like, I don't mean to be, like, I don't mean to be offensive, but you look like a lizard. Is this natural? Were you cursed?
No, I am not cursed at all. She'll
I'm
take.
so sorry for insinuating that. I didn't mean to do that at all. I'm so sorry.
It's quite alright. You certainly didn't know. I can't. Ah, I can't scorn upon that. Am I in your way? Do you need to step out?
Yes, I'm just going across the hallway. If you would excuse me.
Of course. She'll step here.
Thank you. She's looking quite scared in your presence. Like taking like a bit of a wide berth around you.
Understandable.
And she says to the door, she like knocks very gently and says, "Dearie, Lady Lyra Feathermore was here for the tea. If you remember, if that's okay, if you have the time, they're here right now outside." Well, yes. Send them in. What are you doing? Of course. She opens the door for you and like take a step inside. This is the parlor. If you would need anything from me, dearie, I will be right over in the hallway. Vargas doesn't really seem to answer this. Instead, he stands up from the chair that he was sitting in, smoking a pipe, and beside him on the floor are two massive mastiffs, dark in the fur, and they immediately growl upon strangers about to go over the threshold. And Vargas gives them like a short, quick command, and they immediately stop their aggression, and it turns to you. Well, come in, of course. Well, you know where to find me.
Thank you, lady. Should I announce you once more, Hilaria?
No, we're fine.
He like makes a step towards. Like, oh, okay. I'll stay in the back this time.
You almost gave that poor woman a heart attack.
Just doing what I thought was best. Now, go.
Thank you so much for the invitation.
Well, what can I say? It's quite seldom you get to meet another highborn as yourself of such high standing. I am actually quite excited to have such one in our midst, cultured and all.
I can imagine.
Well, let me call out for tea. I am also terribly sorry about the no reception. My butler has gone missing. I only have Mate around. Mate! Mate! Bring tea! It's like a muffled confirmation coming from like deeper within the house, and then he steps back. Please, come here. Takes your hand, leads you over to like this comfortable chair over here, and like offers it to you. Sits down in his chair. The massives like move around a little bit in the room before they settle down, just like beside him on the side now.
Are we allowed to come in the room?
Yeah, he seems to usher everybody in.
Okay.
Yeah, padded chairs and couches line the walls of this cozy, carpeted den. The room reeks of pie smoke, and mounted on the east wall is a head of an angry-looking brown bear. It's right here.
Rawr.
Rawr, indeed. Well, how do you find my Vallaki, Lady Lyria? I'm sure it's nothing like the Protectorate.
Well, it is quite a nice town compared to the rest of Barovia.
Mm.
I enjoyed my stay so far.
That's good. That's very, very good. Let me welcome you all again to Vallaki properly this time. In comparison to that sordid affair by the gates, Vallaki is a little paradise in the tragic state of Barovia. But I trust that you've been enjoying yourself. It's quite a sight to see either way. We have come a long way of keeping the old traditions alive. What started as an experiment to warm the hearts of our villages has become intrinsically linked to the safety and protection of our town. I speak, of course, about the festivals, you see, my lady. My very own contribution to keeping the shadows of the valley at bay, and to keep smiles on the faces of men, women, and of course the children. Last week, the Wolf's Hand Jamboree was our most attended festival of them all, we celebrated Vallaki hunters' noble effort in culling the wolves. We had all manner of games and booths, and my wife's nearest and dearest friends baked those delightful cookies in the shapes of wolf's head. And he's about to continue this like long tirade of like talking about the festivals, but there's a soft knock on the door, and tea arrives. Apparently, it must have
During
been-
all of this, Illyria just sort of like sits and like nods and smiles politely.
Yeah, a servant comes into the room, puts down like a silver platter on the table here, starts like pouring tea into cups. Vargas like waits patiently and quietly as the servant does this, which like leads to this pretty awkward silence unless somebody else speaks up.
I have something to say. Yes.
Mhm.
Burgomaster Velakovic. I am the ward of Lady Illyria Feathermore, and we met briefly at the gate. And just like you quite right said, it was a very sordid affair. Clearly not in the traditional ways of which a noble such as the Feathermores would have expected to be treated. Now, you don't know the Feathermores, but I'm sure you can see with such grace that Illyria has presented, and with our interest in your town, we could perhaps agree that it could have been much better. Yes.
My apologies, of course. Things have been tough. You always need to look out for the devil. He's lurking in every corner. We need to stay vigilant. We need to keep on doing the festivals and keeping the peace in this town to finally root him out.
He 100%. Go ahead.
We're doing the Morning Lord's work, but that sometimes means that we need to be extra suspicious of strangers.
I 100% agree with you. I mean, you cannot be too cautious about who is around. But we are not followers of this devil. In fact, we are quite the opposite.
You give
And
it
he
to-
will pull out Irina's pendant
Oh,
of the Gleaming Lord
okay.
and say, "Hey, we don't like to flaunt this, but I myself am a follower of the Gleaming Lord. And anywhere that this devil will be, we will root him out and expel him." Now, and he puts it back in his pocket.
I
I
must say,
find-
it's the first time I've seen a tiefling with that kind of simple. How's unique?
Well, I am rather unique, as you can see. I always treated like a Vallaki is graining just because of my race. I much prefer to be side by side with more civilized folk. But
You sound like my Isaac. Are you sure you don't want me to take you off Lady Lyria's hands and help me here in Vallaki? My two tiefling captains. What a sight.
well, that is quite a tempting offer, but I'm sure you can imagine that just as you have Isaac as your ward, I am Lady Illyria's ward. And I am bound to her for now. But I'll keep your offer in mind. Having said that, though, I have a grievance to... Not a big one, a grievance to air. And he gestures openly and widely towards Asfara and says, "We had a little spot of trouble at the gates getting in, and I'm sure for such nobility to have part of their entourage walk around with barely scraps of clothing, this presents quite a difficult political situation, and we would be sure to have a much better time should we actually be properly clothed."
You see like a panic come across his face, and he jumps up out of the chair and exclaims, "Everybody must follow the rules of Vallaki. No exceptions."
Of course,
It is the law of Vallaki.
100% agree with you, Burgomaster. That is not what I'm implying here. We merely had a little bit of a argument with one of your very eager guardsmen at the gate. Now, we were amicable and agreed to the demands of the laws of Vallaki. But decency is also a thing of nobility, would you not agree?
Well, I can imagine with the pedigree of Lady Lyria that you can go and visit the Beast Rose. I cannot give you back in the arbor.
I think we will just do that.
Good. You need to understand that this is vital for everybody's safety. In Vallaki, everything is all and well because everybody follows the rules and the laws.
Wonderful. So you said something and the rose?
The Beast Rose. The local tailor. I'm sure that they can either there's something that you can work with that's already there, or you can probably ask him for a custom job. And he sits down, having like some of the air taken out of him.
I look over to Asphodel and give a nod.
She'll nod back.
The servant has been standing this whole time, like awkwardly just holding a cup of tea, waiting for you to take it.
Nix will wave his hand to dismiss the servant.
Alright. Puts it back on the table, and then stands in a corner. Well, I am invited you to tea, Lady Lyria, as an apology for what happened, of course, but also to deliver a proposition to you.
A proposition?
Yes, this might be a bit toward, but I'm sure that after you meet him, you will see him in the fondest of light, and you will be sure that this will be beneficial for both of our families. There's trade opportunities in Barovia, and of course trade opportunities in the Protectorate. My son, Victor, is a bit of a reader, but I would like to suggest a union between our families that would benefit both of our countries. Too long have Barovia been distant to the rest of the world, but I would bring us together again. With us as your allies, as your dear family, we could end the scourge of darkness that assails both of our people.
Illyria just freezes.
The Morning Law would surely smile upon a union between our families, between you and my son. I tell you true, he was once engaged to marry the Wachter girl, but that house is nothing but trouble. The sons are drunkards, the daughter lost to insanity, and the mother a bride of evil. Be careful of that one. That union would have spelled doom for our fair town, and its end was a welcome relief. That treacherous Lady Fiona Wachter has made a move against my family, though I cannot prove it. In the past week, 2 of our employees have gone missing, and I have reason to believe that the Wachters are responsible. Fiona Wachter, in her madness, believes that she could rule Vallaki, and she seeks to depose me. There are also rumors that she consorts with devils and demons. Together with this preposition, if we could work together, Lady Lyra, and root out this competition, this evil corruption that stalks my village, and with a union with our families, I'm sure that we can bring back glory to Barovia, and it will bring glory and riches to your family as well.
That is quite the proposition.
We need to
I
move
mean-
quickly, you see, Lady Lyria. I think she's planning something. She's up to something. It must be stopped. You need to find out what it is. You need to help me find out what it is. Me and Isaac cannot move around the town like you can. And report to me or either Isaac on the morning before the Festival of the Blazing Sun. I fear she has plans on that day. And of course, on the Festival of the Blazing Sun, you will be our most esteemed and honored guest, and I hope to make an announcement for all of Vallaki of this union.
I mean, I hope you understand that I cannot accept something like that without
Consideration.
talking to
Lady
my
Lyra.
family.
Of course, but do you see personally favorable upon this agreement? Let me call down Victor.
Oh Lord. Oh dear morning Lord, save us.
He pokes out his head and like shouts at the top of his lungs, which I will not do. Victor! Victor! Where does his son have gone to? And Sistan again gives you like a stressed smile that says he will be down, Jimmy. In just a minute, I'm sure.
I'm sure.
Lady Lyria, I cannot say for your parents' sake, but a charming suitor from the burgomaster of such an esteemed town. Maybe they might be interested.
I mean, I hope you understand. I would like to meet him, and I need at least a night to think about it.
I'm sure a knight might be a useful tool.
Diplomacy right now. The burgomaster shakes his head in agreement and leans in towards Lady Lyria and says, besides the obvious benefits to both of our families that this union would lead to, this would also lead to my absolute loyalty to you, Lady Lyria, as you stay here in Vallaki. The guards will of course treat you with respect, and you will be protected by my influence. Barovia can be a harsh place, but if you would help me with Lady Vakter and think about this union with my son, then we have a partnership.
Does he seem like he is, I mean, I don't know, like he means that, like he's trustworthy?
Let's roll empathy. Composure. Taking some time to load. Oh, there we go. 12. He seems genuinely worried about Fiona Wachter. And he seems very forceful and stressed.
Okay.
There comes a knock on the door, and the Vargas basically like jumps out of the chair and like stands up. Yes, Victor, come in. And a pretty gangly teenager of maybe 15, 16 years enters the room. A very pallid skin, large black rings underneath his eyes, and a mess of short black hair that just seems to go in every direction. His clothes are, of higher quality, but they seem pretty disheveled. Like he doesn't really take care of his appearance that much, and it might even look like he just woke up maybe an hour ago or something.
Ooh.
And he steps into the room. Father, who are all of these people? He rushes over to his son and helps him pat him down. Now Victor, son, this is Lady Illyria, and he kind of walks him over to you, Illyria.
She gives him this awkward and what's the word? She sympathetic smile.
Yeah. Victor seems very confused, but the realization slowly dawns upon him, especially when Vargas says, I've just asked Lady Illyria Featherpaw of the Protectorate if she would be interested in a union between our families. And Illyria, you can see shock and disdain quickly go over his face, and until he tries to control it. And very stiffly he bows and holds out his hand so you can place it in his.
She does that, and she's trying to communicate look, I'm not comfortable with this either, without letting his father know.
His expression doesn't seem to change from yours, but he pretends to kiss your hand. He places his thumb just above where where his lips goes, so he doesn't actually kiss your hand. And it says, "My pleasure to meet you. I'm
Likewise.
Victor Vallaki." Then he stands straight, lets go of your hand, looks over to his dad, which pats him on the back. And when he seems like he's immediately he's off the hook, he stiffly sits down in this leather chair.
Oh man. I feel like as this is going on, if Illyria were to look behind our pretty boy here, she could see Asphoda narrow her eyes into slits as she's appraising this kid, and you can tell she's not. There's no approval. There's no approval. Kid's disheveled, friggin' bags like a raccoon. Wasn't ready. They get shaking her head.
Okay, I see. Well, absolutely perfect. Now, what joyous news that you two have met. I was concerned after the union with Stella Wachter was called off. But now this is even better. All will be well. All will surely be well.
Burgermaster, I'm sure you agree that Lady Illyria and your son might need to get to know each other just a little bit before, you know, other arrangements should be discussed. And I was wondering what you thought about what sort of engagement that they could potentially follow to get to know each other a little better.
Well, of course. Lady Lear, you are free to stay until after dinner. Sadly, we do not have any guest rooms left in the mansion. Isaac has taken that one, lives with us. But you are free to have dinner with us and spend as much time with Victor as you would want. His schedule is absolutely clear, and it looks like Victor wants to like jump in there and protest, but Vargas bulldozes over him. His schedule is absolutely clear to spend as much time with you as you would want. Maybe we can secure a place for you at the table during the festival, sitting close together.
Don't. Sure. I appreciate your hospitality.
Whatever you want of me, Father. Well, don't let me disturb then. I have work to do. Running a town is indeed busy work. I will go and talk to Lydia about the change in seats.
Oh, God.
Come find me or Lydia or Matei over here if you have any needs. Alright? As he walks past Victor, he basically like sends a little like gaze towards him and says, "Be good now." And he exits.
Does the door close behind him?
Mm-hmm.
All right. The moment the door closes,
Mm-hmm.
Asura's eyes now full turn to look at Victor and says with a pleasant smile, "So, Victor, was it?
Okay.
What do you do? I see that you're quite disheveled. Was last night's event or events laborious?"
Such a bother. I forgot about the time set up reading again.
Reading? What novel?
Any book I can find. The worlds in the books are for sure more interesting than this one. But I guess you know all about that.
Books are one thing. I'd rather live them.
Me too.
I can't blame you.
Have you ever stepped foot outside your walls?
Of course not. How could I? Let alone the mists.
Quite unfortunate.
He steals some curious glances, not towards Lady Lyria, but towards Nyx, Kelvin, and Asphodel, taking in their like appearance. But otherwise, he like looks down on his hands, or like other places in the room, keeping eye contact as people speak.
I don't know if it'll be relevant,
Illyria.
but just so you know that Nyx always has his book on him, on his belt. So
Oh, then he would definitely like send a gaze towards it, but will be nonchalant about it.
Illyria is sort of like just looks over to him and is like I'm sorry about that. I had no idea that's what this was about.
Neither did I. Thought they would leave me alone after Stella. Now you're here.
It seems like a bit of a cunt.
Well, you know how it is. It doesn't really matter what you want, does it?
No. Never does.
Then what do you want?
Leave here.
That's clear enough. Some more specific details, if you would.
Be left alone with my books.
And how do you figure of achieving that sort of lifestyle? You know your way around, how to make do outside.
I have some
Leave.
ideas.
Oh,
What
Enlighten
ideas
me.
do you have?
He stands up from the chair, looks over towards you, says pretty frankly, "Look, can't we just agree that we had a pleasant afternoon together,
Look, I'm
and you can return to wherever you want to return to, and I can return to whatever I want to return to?"
not trying to keep you, and I understand that neither of us really want to be here.
Good. But I don't want my father to be angry at me either. So, we had a good time. Friendly.
Yeah, it was lovely.
Perfect. It works for me. Well, see you around, I guess.
well, that was interesting.
he is not going to survive a millisecond out there, even if he does manage to leave.
You thought he would?
Maybe, but
No, but I was hoping maybe a second. 1 second.
Probably
Who knows?
drown in the mud.
Exactly.
I'm sure he could achieve his goals.
I'm actually quite doubtful.
You gotta have faith in the kid, though.
He can try, but he seems rather uninterested in anything past his books.
Oh, that doesn't mean, to be honest, there's not that much fucking interesting around here anyway.
Books can be powerful too.
That again.
Mm-hmm.
Nyx goes to Matei, who's standing there,
Yeah.
just like, kind of awkwardly in the room, just to make it to address him, as opposed to just so that the party realizes that they're not alone in the room.
Oh, it's fine.
To be honest, Calvin forgot about him.
Oh, I haven't. But I
Someone
was
watching.
going to say.
Yeah, Asphodel hasn't forgotten.
Okay.
Kinda
gonna go
his
to
job
Matei.
to be that way,
Yeah.
you know?
I heard from the burgomaster that you're having a spot of trouble with your employed hand. Might you know of any information that perhaps as we are going around Vallaki, we would keep an eye out for? We are quite resourceful.
Not really know, but what I can tell you, since I'm pretty scared for my own life, is that we suspect foul play.
Certainly.
Because their belongings are all here, but they are missing. Gone in the
But they
night.
have...
No
so
guards know why.
What happened? I mean, why would they have left the house at night? Do you know of any information beyond just, oh, they disappeared? I'm
No
sure a man
guards
in your
saw
position.
anything.
No
No.
guards saw anything?
No guards saw anything, and no their belongings are here.
But wait a minute. And Nick says like this, cunning look on his face. Says, but the burgomaster says everything is well. Is that not true?
His eyes go wide, and he immediately goes, "Oh no, everything is well. They just left to Kresk. I'm sorry,
Inside check.
Master. I was just lying. Please don't tell the
Illyria
burgomaster.
stands-
Everything is well. I'm loyal. Everything is well. Everything is well.
Illyria
Everything is
stands
well."
up and she's like, calm down. We
Like
we
he's
don't-
about to have like a nervous breakdown.
Illyria sort of like tries
slap
to
him.
like, Illyria tries to sort of like grab him and comfort him and is like, look, it's alright. We won't tell him. Quite frankly, this is bullshit. But I trust you will support our story that I had a lovely time with Victor.
Yes, of course. Everything is well. Everything with you and Victor is well. Everything is well.
Look,
Please don't say anything. Please don't.
Look, Mate, we're not going to say anything. Why would we say anything? I mean, I am in a similar position as you. Why would I turn in someone of my similar stature? Now, this is something to say that whilst Illyria's and Victor's engagement was outstandingly positive, right?
Everything is well, sir. As always.
But things could be maybe a little bit more well. Is that something you can agree on, Mate?
He nods his head furiously, and like continues like whisper, like please do not say. And he seems like afraid for his life.
Lady Illyria is very kind-hearted. She wants the best for everyone, even if it pains her to do so. Now, if you are afraid for your life, I'm sure that we can perhaps do something about that, or at least
Yes.
investigate to discover why your fellow colleagues have disappeared. I'm sure you would like that. Isn't that right, Mate?
He shakes his head in agreement, but also says, "But we cannot be caught. We cannot be caught at all. We cannot be caught, especially not by the other. Especially no, not again."
what do you mean again?
Don't bring me back to that cell. Don't bring me back to that cell. Please don't. No, I don't want
Like,
to.
grab his shoulders and shake him and say, "Hey!"
Illyria, I was about to say Illyria grabs.
Both of you
We
grab
both
it.
grab
One
him.
hand each.
Double slap.
She's like, nobody's going to bring you back. In fact, I would like to know what's going on, and I have no intention whatsoever to turn any of you in.
Takes a step back and lets Illyria do her thing. Takes a seat in Burgomaster's chair.
I don't know if you're really bad. I mean, you can do this if you want.
He reaches
Oh,
forward.
no, go ahead.
He reaches forward and grabs your hands, Illyria,
Well, that is interesting.
All is not well.
I mean, we kind of knew that the first time they felt the need to state that all is well.
Yeah, usually you don't point that out if everything is, but
So, what do we do now? I mean, I guess I'm sort of invited for dinner, but also...
Well, you have
don't
gained
know.
the favor of the Burgomaster. You are to be courted, and it's clear that Victor has no intention of getting to know you, but we can certainly play the part that you are thinking about it, even if it is obvious that you are going to turn it down.
Yes, we should definitely play along with it for a little longer.
It's curious how negative he was towards the Vakta family. I wonder if there's some sort of rivalry there that maybe they wish the downfall of the Burgomaster.
That is true and quite intriguing.
What's happening?
There's
My
also
cat is trying to snuggle with the mic. I'm sorry.
No.
Aww.
I did overhear that one of the boys was missing his cat, I believe, Thomas.
Yeah.
But we could look out. We're looking out for ravens, Tom. If we're looking out for ravens, we could also look out for a cat.
We might as well at this point.
That could be a way in with the Vaktas, but if there's going to be a festival tomorrow,
3 days time.
3 days.
3 days time. Okay. It's a question of whether you want to stay here or you want to stay in the Blue Moon.
Blue water.
Blue water. Blue water. Blue water.
Well, they do not have a guest room, so I would have to leave after dinner either way.
Well, I mean, there doesn't have to be a guest room, Illyria, for you to stay here.
Oh my.
I'm not sure if you're suggesting I sleep on the sofa or in somebody's bed. I don't think I like either one.
Both are pretty comfy.
I will also point out that technically, Lyra, you already have a date.
Yeah.
Illyria is dating everyone now.
I don't think she even realizes.
She must realize that she's now dating that guy, or
Well, I mean,
they want him to.
Holt said he
That's
would
what
be
I
back
want.
by dinner in the blue
Yeah.
water, and he was hoping to
like
see you.
Illyria's like, I think it's maybe best to excuse us. I mean,
I don't know. I mean, we have a unique opportunity here, or you do, or at least maybe we do. If we are in your envoy, Vallaki is going to be a little bit more open to us if we play along or we have gained the favor of the Burgomaster. Makes our job
well,
a
we
little
can
bit easier.
certainly use his favor. I don't think it is necessary for me to, agree to this arrangement. We can just, let it be open for now.
For now.
And I, quite frankly, don't feel comfortable. This whole thing hits a bit too close to home for me, if I'm being honest. Now, given I was a bit less, nerdy.
Nerdy? What is nerdy?
But he does remind me of, what it used to be like with my parents, you know?
So he's very interested in books. I believe maybe I could, if we needed to, I could sway him one way or another, being a novelist myself. But I don't know. There's plenty of question marks around this place.
I mean, for this arrangement to work out, and it pains me to say that, I don't think his father requires his approval.
And neither does his wife. The Baroness seems to be a little bit broken.
I mean, understandably so if you're living with a man like that.
Well, I think there's plenty for us to do here, but we shouldn't lose sight of our main objective, which is the discovery of Arabelle, right?
That is true.
Perhaps I suggest that we return to the Blue Water Inn and
Sure,
try and investigate on that regard.
I would have to excuse myself, although I'm sure it is not unexpected that the boy went back to his books.
True.
I'm a bit worried about, what happens if I am to leave early and what his father is going to think.
I don't think he expected you to remain here like a prisoner. You are a guest.
Oh,
and,
no. But, how do I say this? He will probably know that his son shut himself back in with his books.
Yes, and that everything is not fine.
Part of me wishes to snoop, if I'm honest, around this estate and discover things why they're not fine. But also part of me thinks that if we get caught, we're in some pretty deep trouble.
It is true. So, what thing?
I'm curious as if to know that I could speak to Victor regarding what kind of books he likes and talk to him that way, maybe come up with some sort of collaboration. I don't know where he is, but I'll have to go snooping for him. Or we could just abandon this whole thing and return to the Blue Water. What do you suggest?
I honestly don't know, and you also have to keep in mind that this arrangement might, if it draws somebody's attention, there might be issues.
Issues?
She just looks at you.
I think we are a little bit beyond just mere issues, Illyria.
Well, we certainly can't just abandon this currently.
No.
I feel that might go after us. We do need to stay here longer. In Vallaki, at least.
So, do you want me to play along with it for now?
What is the harm? I mean,
I'm pretty sure holds.
well, you don't have to tell everyone everything you're doing.
I'm not sure. I think he might expect me.
Well, then if he's expecting you, then he must be patient.
Yeah. After all, these sort of things must drag on for weeks, right? I don't know. How is it working over in the Protectorate?
What do you mean?
I can't say. I just thought that, nobles and diplomats and just. It seems like a lot of paperwork for just even a tiny thing, so. Putting two families together when it's clearly not about love or anything, it's a bit
It
foreign for me.
depends. The mayor seemed quite urgent.
Urgent to get you and his son together, or at least so that they can present at the
to
festival.
Get to be able to present us at the festival and to know about this union.
Well, I think that there's no harm in just going along with it, and if it means we get more freedoms in Vallaki, then it helps. It serves our purpose.
Well, if you want to have a chat with him, I'm sure me looking for, well, my future husband wouldn't be that weird.
Right. Maybe you just need another taste. Shall we go find him?
Sure. Illyria seems so done with this.
All right. You guys step out of the den, out into the foyer again. Hear the sounds of females like chatting on the other side of the hallway. Oh yeah, you can just go through. It's still open.
Is it easy to hear if I get close to the door what they're talking about?
Yeah.
Sure.
We
You need to
eavesdrop.
tiptoe a little bit since the wood is creaking
Mm-hmm.
on the floor. But there are people, walking around here like normally, so it wouldn't be too crazy. Yeah, you can hear Lydia's very high-pitched voice basically pratter on about preparations for the Blazing Sun Festival, how they're going to organize the tables, who is going to sit where, what is going to be served, who's going to clean up afterwards, and how they're going to build the. This is when you learn why these, this wicker, these branches are lying around. They're planning of creating this globe with branches and then putting that on fire as a large circular sun in the middle of the square. And answering her is often quite unenthusiastic answers, but definitely answers. Oh, thank you so much for the photo, Femi. But mostly you hear the teacups and the plates being scraped and moved.
Okay. Presumably, I think he left this way, but I guess I take a few steps down the hallway and I look back to Illyria and say, "Are you coming?"
Sure, I guess. I mean, it feels kind of wrong snooping around here.
Snoop, 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 snoop.
And again, I would rather not to deal with the mayor. Honest.
If we see the mayor, I will take that hit for the team.
It's okay. I mean, we can just say we're looking for the washroom or something.
All four of us.
Not the one.
With
How we do it in the
Savlin.
protectorate.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. Lol.
It's just, we're both girls, right? And go to the bathroom together all the time.
In
Oh,
a
well,
noble's. Well.
And you're my servant, and Calvin is just weird.
Fair.
Shade.
All right. So you're creeping down the hallway. Careful not to touch any of these very dry clusters of branches lying around and staying on the carpet so it doesn't creak as much. And you have 3 doors in front of you.
Oh, is this the door up here?
Yeah. That's the
Oh, I see.
Just, I guess we're gonna try one. Is it
Alright.
open?
Yeah, indeed, it is open. You open it carefully, like just a little, to get a glimpse. Don't barge in like Nyx.
Lady Illyria!
And it seems to be a servant's quarters, and you see Matei standing with his back to you, like up against the wall, his head in his hands, softly crying and mumbling to himself. Like his head towards the wall, and his hands around his head.
Illyria just closes the door.
Softly.
Yeah, she's like,
Close the lid on that one.
that feels really bad. Like she makes a mental note that she needs to figure out what's going on and maybe murder the shit out of the burgomaster, but like she doesn't want to like she feels really bad for him, but she doesn't want to comfort him because she doesn't want to get him in trouble, you know.
All right. 2 doors left.
We might have to look what those cells were about at some point. There's something really bad going on.
You don't
I-
say.
I agree wholeheartedly with you.
I mean, she's gonna hear first. Bless you.
Thank you. All right. Oh God, what the fuck happened there? I wanna grab it. Thank you. You peer into a kitchen, and there seems to be a cook. There is currently with his back towards you, preparing something by a work area. Seems to be like chopping vegetables.
She just tries to close the door before he can notice her.
Yeah.
Quietly.
For now, people don't seem to be noticing since they're, commoners here and foot traffic.
That was the kitchen. Should we try that door too?
If we're looking for him, if he's going to his room, I don't know if I actually got to find it down here. I just looking for the stairs, I suppose.
I would assume bedrooms are usually upstairs.
You did walk
Maybe.
past a stair. It was in the entrance. There was a stair
Oh.
going up.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, should we
Okay, that's good.
maybe try the stairs then?
Stairs. All right. Oh, so there are. Okay. It looks like a hallway, I suppose.
It might not be the easiest to see. All right, you climb up to the second floor.
God,
Stair
my
vision.
cat is sleeping on my mouse.
Lol.
Cat usually eat mice, don't sleep on them.
I mean, they do that too. Mice are for eating, computer mouse is for sleeping. Apparently.
Apparently. I think it's they who decide it anyway. We cannot question the cat.
They just never got the memo that they aren't being worshipped anymore.
Not in
Yeah.
Egypt anymore.
They've just got it in the head from the Egyptians. Ugh.
Yeah. Well. Alright, I fixed the music. The staircase climbs 20 feet to a beautifully appointed gallery that continues towards the west, running almost the length of the mansion. Framed landscape paintings line the walls, and red silk drapes cover a 10-foot tall arched window of leaded glass. You do not see anybody. This definitely gives off an area. This is more like private rather than like common area. Alright, let's move over to map. Load. I put you out on the map.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna move you in. Shit, I'm on the wrong layer. Whoop. There you go.
Oh, there we go. Shit.
Trying to be quiet in real life now too.
I dropped something. Okay? It fell out of my pocket.
Right. Yeah, in front of you is just this gallery, this hallway. It's a little bit creaky.
Corridors on corridors. Oh my god.
All this walking, you know?
Horrendous.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I didn't think we'd have to do walking.
Yeah. And as you come to that point, you basically see two sideways corridors going north with several doors. There's a door on this side, a door on that side, and then a door over there. There. And a
Feel
door
like-
in the distance there.
I feel like we might get into big trouble if we're getting caught snooping around here.
Well, then let's not snoop and make our presence known. Why don't you call out to Victor?
I'm not sure. That's Victor.
There's a soft growl that is coming from this area over here, and you hear the sound of somebody moving, and this door over here opens to show the burgomaster, who steps out, sees you all, and gets a surprised look on his face, but he quickly composes himself. Oh no, did he run away?
It is all right, really. I'm sorry, I didn't want to seem like I was intruding on personal space. It just felt quite awkward. Please don't give him any trouble about it.
Please do not judge my son too harshly either, Lady Lyria.
I will not.
He hasn't met people like you. I can assure you of that.
People like me?
Well, so cultured, and coming from such a a large, prestigious nation such as the Protectorate, let me tell you, I admire from what I've heard about it.
Really? I mean, it's quite impressive, and
Yes, the way that they have been able to stand up against the corrupting forces, the bloodsuckers. I
Yes.
think with their methods and mine combined, we might be able to finally rid all of this land from their vile presence.
Yes, that too. But Lady Illyria is curious to once again speak to your son.
well, I do not think. Maybe he just needs some space.
Perhaps. I was just wondering. I mean,
Harsh
for
push.
me, I mean, throwing someone into a social engagement can be a little bit jarring. You just need some time, like a Lady Illyria says, just a little bit of space. But I thought I would speak to your son directly just to prepare him, maybe give him some inside tips to converse with Illyria a little better. Nix gives like this biggest smile to Illyria.
God.
If you could tell me where his room is or where he might be, I'm sure you would agree that is a good idea.
He nods and says, definitely teach him everything you know how to talk to the fairer sex. I'm quite sure he needs it. He points down the hallway to the door over here,
Okay.
and says that is his room, and says to all of you, good evening, and goes back
Good
into this
evening.
room here. Alright, the door is unlocked.
I knock
There's no answer.
gently. There's no answer.
Mhm.
I knock again.
You wait. There's no answer.
I'll open the door.
An handsomely appointed room that contains a canopied bed, a low bookshelf, and a full-length mirror in a wooden frame on the wall across from the door. Set into the north wall is an arched window of leaded glass, and there's hardly any items in here except for just one shelf of books and no Victor.
Well, I guess Nix wants to know what he reads. I mean, if he's gonna have a conversation about books, just get an idea. Wherever the bookshelf is.
Yeah, it's over this cabinet here. It's a collection of Barovian fables and tomes about mythology, heraldry, and other such subjects.
Do they look like they've been touched? Like they have been. Are they just like decoration books, like you have in Manners? You know, like many leather-bound books that are just sitting there forever. Do they look like they've been read or used?
Make me a investigation check, and Asvana, make me a perception check where you're standing
Yeah,
with intelligence.
with intelligence, got it. Yeah, this is a teenager's room. She's about to sniff it out.
It's gonna smell bad, I'm telling you now.
Well, besides smelly smells, sus things.
I mean, I think it's sus that it looks the way it does, but
Why is it not like messy as absolute fuck?
You said perception.
to be fair, if you are
18. Good. Next. The books do look like they've been read. but they haven't been read often. Maybe once or twice. Like the spines haven't been broken to the point where you can see somebody has read them like over and over again. They maybe have been read like once or twice. They've been opened. That's for sure.
Okay. So clearly not the books that he's interested in then, really. I mean, yes and no to a degree, but someone who really enjoys books would have them open all the time, I suppose. So this... I look to Astrid at the door and say, I do not believe he spends much time here.
Yeah, as for that, this place, like considering your your experience with your younger brother, this is very clean, very untouched.
She kind of like
even the socks drawer is like pristine.
Socks
She-
drawer.
she sort of like narrows her
People wear
eyes.
socks.
Is this a wall? Am I supposed to be looking into here?
It's a wall. Oh shit, it's not a...
Yeah, it's not concealed. I
No,
see this room.
Valeria, you should already be inside.
Whoopsie.
It's all good.
So nothing.
Okay. She like this is too clean. It's too clean.
And as you look around
Where's the
on
dirty
this
pile
too
of clothes?
clean room, what becomes obvious to you is a door in the ceiling. What is it called?
Oh, she looks up, and goes up to it, the door to the ceiling, and she reaches out and grabs it to open.
Yeah, she can
The
just
first
do that.
time your height is helping you.
Yes, her height. She just grabs
For
it.
once, it's not a
open.
handicap.
Scoop the ceiling.
Scoop. Got a little ice cream scoop hand.
A foldable ladder comes down, wooden, and there seems to be some cloth above your head.
She does the honors of kind of trying to get the cloth, move the cloth out of the way, so she can peek, like, and go on like her tiptoes to like peek over the ceiling door.
All right, and you move the cloth slightly aside. You look into an attic. There seems to be a storage room. There's discarded items everywhere. There's chests, mannequins, barrels, boxes, heaps of cloth, and there also seems to be a bit of like a hallway between two rooms.
Two rooms.
One in each end.
She'll just kind of say to the party, "Oh, an attic area."
I mean, if I was a bookworm teenager that doesn't like to interact with people, that's where I would hide.
You're half of that.
Well, would you like to do the honors then, Illyria, of getting in there?
I don't think that maybe Nyx should try. I think it would be weird if all of us like show up and annoy him.
Fair
I
enough.
like take a look at
It would be
what's
us,
up there,
but-
and we're like, is it look dusty? Does it look dirty?
It looks very dusty. Yes.
Nyx does another micro expression of like disgust. Like, maybe Kelvin. It looks small.
I can go if you want, but I highly doubt that he wants me to go after him. Then again, Nyx is also weird. I mean, not weird like I'm saying probably doesn't want to talk to any of us right now.
We don't know if he's up there. I will go if you really insist. But Kelvin seems here like you
Well,
could easily lift him up. As for that, is all I'm saying.
You wanted to talk about books with him, right? So
Of course, if he's there, then I will go. But let's find out if he's there first.
Elu just climbs up.
Okay.
Okay, Lyra, you climb up. Okay. Okay. Oh, we can go to this one instead. There we go. Pew, pew. That works better. Pew. There you go. You climb up in this.
Ooh. We here.
So much garbage.
It is. That's where. So there's a chest here, right?
Yeah.
As for the, she's not gonna use the ladder. She's just gonna hoist herself up. She's probably gonna break the ladder if she puts a foot on it.
Mm-hmm.
But she's gonna go into the chest.
All right. You open the chest, and you find masks of different colorful styles and patterns. It seems to be pretty simple, made from like clay and just been like painted over in like basic colors and different patterns. There's quite a lot of them, like there's like 50 or so in there.
It's a ladle.
There's a ladle. An actual ladle.
There's a ladle.
There's a
I didn't
ladle.
know. What?
She
Yeah,
put it
the
back to the
other
other one.
picture, there was a ladle on the floor.
The
Calvin's eyes
gods
light
have
up.
spoken. The ladle god.
I
has
want
spoken.
my ladle.
Yeah, there is, and it's metal too. Lol. A little bit rusty.
The rusty ladle for the extra poison
Does he
damage.
see this?
Yes, you do.
I'm just gonna run over and pick it up.
You do have special perception for ladles.
Very specific.
Okay, as Nix climbs up, he's gonna be like keeping his distance from dusty things.
Illyria is gonna check if she can like close it again.
Yeah. No, you can. You can just put
Yeah,
the
so
carpet back on.
She
close it.
does that.
Yes. You just basically bring up the retractable stair, and with that you close the latch. It's called a latch. There we go. And then just pull the carpet over. Yeah.
We here.
I need who has highest perception?
Me, probably.
Probably. Let's roll
Oh, yeah,
a
what's
perception
your-
intelligence.
Oh yeah, you got height.
+8.
Oh, oh
Jesus.
boy. It's for ladles only though, right?
Oh yeah. And I also didn't even roll that well.
Well, also considering your survival skills, you do notice that in the dust, like where like people have traveled here, is obviously this like meandering path
Yeah,
through
I see that on the
the
map. Yeah.
dust, and also from here to there. Forward and backwards, and in between the latch, and this like central cleared pathway in between all the clutter.
Should we head over there? And he's gonna point towards the door over here.
Well, I think maybe only Nyx for now. I think it would be weird for. I mean, it's also weird for all of us to be waiting outside here. So
I'll go over to the door and just like listen in on the other side, see if I can hear anything.
Yeah. do, you hear scribbles, soft sighs, and paper.
Can Illyria just go and like sit on one of the barrels?
You also hear, yeah, you can. You also hear sometimes very soft moanings that they are very creepy to you. It's these very high-pitched soft moanings that sounds frankly unenthusiastic, and like somebody's vocal cords have been slightly ripped. Like there's a guttural quality to high-pitched soft moanings. It's a very strange sound. Almost sometimes gargles also.
Oh no.
Oh no. Does it sound like the sounds that were coming from the church cellar where we were in Barovia Village?
That was more like, screaming, and panting.
Did I stutter? Does it sound...
Yeah, that is.
So that's a no or a yes?
No, that's
Okay.
a no, not like that.
Okay, he's gonna do it slowly and stealthily, like to open the door, giving a look to the others, and then putting a finger to his lips, and then like maybe like a gesture to scatter and hide or something.
Asphodel is gonna.
I mean, Asphodel can't really hide, but
Yeah, he'll
Lie
he's
down
act-
on the
yeah,
sofa over
Put
there.
he's gonna go over
a sheet
here
over his-
and lie down. Like, so if this is the door, she'll kind of watch the door and lie
Calvin doesn't
down.
even really need to crouch behind this giant chest he's behind.
Illyria
kinda
is like probably trying to find a spot somewhere here where she can still see a little bit.
okay.
Oh yeah, no. Also give me an investigation check and a occult check with intelligence next.
An investigation. Oh god. Here's my investigation. And here is my occult. With intelligence.
Yes. Damn.
Oh,
Oh.
Hmm?
You, among these weird moanings and the ruffle of paper, the soft sighs that seems to be coming from a humanoid, there's also mumbling. Somebody is reciting Coptic words, as in the language of magic.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
But you reach out to open the door very carefully, I presume.
Well,
Because everybody's hiding.
everyone's hiding. Wait a second here. The way you said that makes me spooked. I'll look at the door first. Is there anything on the door that looks like it could be trapped?
No, you don't see
Fireball.
anything.
I don't see anything. Okay, then I will do the like slow opening of the door.
All right. You reach out. You touch the handle of the door. Turn it down, and the whole handle lights up in blue magic. Ruin starts to shift over it, turning into electrical energy, and it saps into you.
Of course.
That was the investigation.
Nix is
check.
dying, Pog.
yeah.
Bzz. Holy shit.
34
shit.
damage.
You rolled high.
And this
There's
sound
no
is
C.
loud.
Shit.
No,
Illyria.
there's a glyph of warning.
34 damage. Okay.
Yep. And you
Calvin's
can
gonna peek his
hear
head
the
out.
sound of somebody standing up on the other side of the door.
Illyria, I don't know if that happened
Alerted.
before or after, but she's basically gonna try to jump over to
Wait.
see if
Alright. You do acrobatics over the chair. Yeah, I get ya. Yeah, you're sizzling on the ground, Nix.
Did I get knocked down?
Well, I added this as flavor, but if you want to, you can stand.
I'm happy to stand and having like my shoulders smolder from the electrical damage.
That was an ouchie.
And yeah, and like continue to open the door. Go, ow.
Just taking it.
Illyria's
take it.
just like, Nix, are you okay?
You slowly open the disarm door now that the trap has gone off, and you see a Victor standing in front of a work table. Bookshelves everywhere inside of the room, and he has the most dumbstruck, gaping mouth expression that you could ever see on such a disillusioned teenager.
You're not dead?
And with that, we're going to end tonight's episode of Curse of the Mystery.
I think we found
nearly
the
died.
cat. Oh no!
Yeah.